This is the new proposed site for the Merced High Speed Rail station. The authority wants to relocate the station out of the city and to this site in order to save money. It's located conveniently next to the back rooms. And just to show you guys that I'm not misrepresenting anything, I took a special trip out to the station site. Okay, so I'm going to try biking out to the proposed station site. I'm starting from what looks like the corner of hell and nowhere, but it's actually just about the corner of the city that's closest to the proposed station site. So just down that way you got G Street, you got elementary school, some parks, some neighborhoods. Down this way you've got the Future Sports Park. Down this way you got the Highway 99 and eventually the station. And then up that way you got some more neighborhoods, a graveyard, industrial area, kind of, sort of. So, you know, this is sort of the edge of the city. My plan here was to let you get a feel for what it was like to actually commute to the high-speed rail station. But even on the e-bike, it takes a while. The vibe I'm going for here isn't slow, crushing misery. I want to go ahead and get the misery in your face as fast as possible. That way you can suffer as I have suffered and experience the high-speed rail station apparently the way the authority intends it to be experienced. And just in case that little ride didn't make you feel like just laying down and fucking dying, here's the station sites. So the authorities proposed sites on both the north and south side of campus, or Mission, which is that road that's crossing over up ahead. And we're gonna go right past them. Hey, it's Future Curtis here. I figured this would be a good time to cut in because I'm doing a stupid bit in the video. Now you might be saying to yourself, wow, what a beautiful sunny day it is there. This is just what California is like in the interior. We might go a solid 6 months without seeing a cloud. That's what makes it especially heinous that the authority wants to build a 300-foot-long concrete platform with no shelter, no air conditioning. If you want to know what it's like to take the high-speed rail from the Merced station, imagine 2 octillion tons of sun trying to kick your balls into your throat, and then you die. Now, I'm not going to try to claim that the valley has the worst weather or the hottest weather. That's not what I'm trying to say. What I am trying to say is that the authority is planning something that is completely inappropriate for our area. In the Bay Area, sure, okay, maybe a 300-foot platform exposed to the sun is fine. But it gets 117 degrees here. We've already run into this issue with the Amtrak, with the San Joaquins, where Siemens engineers and their venture cars didn't anticipate our 117-degree summers, and the air conditioning on the train just simply gets overwhelmed. That's going to be the future of high-speed rail in Merced, and pretty much in the Central Valley. Overall, it seems like there's a startling lack of long-term thinking on the behalf of not just the authority, but many of the parties involved. And there's really no better example of that than all of the suburban station placements that you can find throughout the Valley segment. Merced is a really great example of that, though it's hardly the worst offender. You can see not only is it going to be a miserable experience actually being at the station or getting dropped off at that station, but also getting to or from there. One thing you may or may not know about Merced is that it prides itself on being the gateway to Yosemite. And there's been some effort to try and brand our station to that effect, but just look at this shit. Wow, it's giving Yosemite. It's giving national parks. Look at my high-speed rail station, dog! Hi, and welcome to the Merced High Speed Rail Station. Just behind me you can see where the authority intends to build the high speed rail station. Well, where they intended to build the high speed rail station. But it's now the year 2040 and they had to make a few cuts. We're down to a table and some folding chairs that they got from Goodwill. They said that these budget cuts allowed them to only spend about $2 billion on the Merced High Speed Rail Station. So yeah, this is the grand opening. I want to talk a little bit about the original plans for the Merced Rail Station. We were going to get an ACE stop, an Amtrak stop, and a high-speed rail station, all in the middle of downtown. And you know, it comes to mind that some people might feel that we got ripped off. One concern that I had is that a lot of the stations that are built out in the suburbs, which this one isn't quite built in the suburbs. I'm not sure if you can tell. I think there's a house over there. Yeah, I wouldn't quite call this the suburbs. Some of the stations that are built out in suburbs, actually all high-speed rail stations that are built out in suburbs, don't really do well. I don't know, I think that's crazy. I mean, just look, this station is situated, just look, okay? This station is situated right next to and conveniently just across the street from and also just up the road from, I mean, it's a no-brainer. I, for one, am very glad that we're taking the long-term view on building out this rail network and that we're not just cutting corners senselessly and building the entire high-speed rail network through the Central Valley to basically fail. Sit up, Gavin. You can't be here. You're supposed to be dead. Dead. Town is that way. All right, so it's just a short little distance to Merced. I don't know how far you'd have to go exactly, but I'm gonna try and measure it. I don't know, they might need to add a few more oil stains and shredded tires, maybe a bigger burn scar. I mean, really, they picked a place that's so fucking bleak, tumbleweeds won't even grow out here. Let's hear what Union Pacific has to say about this location. These guys probably think I'm crazy. Hey, Union Pacific, what do you think about the station? I could talk about how much money the high-speed rail is going to cost, but really that's not why I made this video. There's also about 1,000 other criticisms that you could level at the authority with varying degrees of fairness. My goal here is just to add a little local context to the decision-making around the Merced station, as well as to vent some of my frustrations about it. In the last year, Merced has fallen a long way. In the last 12 months, our station went from a downtown placement that would be a hub for Amtrak, Ace Rail, and the high-speed rail, to a 300-foot concrete platform 2 miles outside of town. Now, the authority has said that it's going to be okay because there's going to be development that's going to follow the station. Maybe they're right, maybe they're not. What we do know is that in other places and in other systems where they've tried suburban station placement, it typically doesn't work. And nobody's been able to articulate to me yet what we're doing any differently. So if we're doing nothing different and just expecting the results to magically be different, I think any reasonable person could expect the predictable outcome. Just because the train stops there doesn't mean that the area is going to grow. You have to give people a reason to go to those places, to get off the train in the first place. With the suburban station placement, it basically guarantees that anybody going to the train from the Merced side is going to be driving there. That's going to incentivize the authority to build a ridiculous parking lot that's going to turn the site into even more of a wasteland than it already is. I'm an unashamed fan of the project. I want to see it succeed, and I want to see it be great for Merced too. Here in the valley, transit between cities has been pretty abysmal for a long time. The high-speed rail represented a really great opportunity to connect these cities, not just to each other, but to the Bay Area and LA, and it really seems like we're hell-bent on squandering that. I started this video out wanting to be funny, but somewhere along the way I just kind of made myself sad. I said pretty much everything I came here to say. If you like this video, instead of liking and subscribing, why don't you write to the High-Speed Rail Authority or call in. Make a public comment. Let them know that their plans for the Central Valley stations suck ass, and it's going to be a drag on the system and the host cities for the rest of its life. Okay, bye.